Hi, I'm Tim Sanders. I'm the head of AI research at G2 and an executive fellow at the Digital Data Design Institute at Harvard.
Hi, I'm Yiannis Broustas. I'm the vice president of product marketing at UiPath. And on my free time, I teach startups at NYU. So Tim, in this new world that is, we are waking up to, we're going to have AI, we're going to have agents, we're going to have automations, we're going to have even people involved in every part of a process. What are your feelings about the trust and the governance aspect of it? And how important do you think it is to have optionality of what tools and what technologies you are putting in an orchestrated workflow?
Let's start with trust. I'm doing a lot of research now on what I call trust gaps. Trust gaps reflect the inability of a business or technology leader to adopt a winning solution at the same rate it's becoming more reliable. So there's a gap. Cloud got a lot better. Some people said, I'm still not going to trust cloud. And they created a massive loss, $44 billion a year, every single year from 2006 to 2021. The profile of that risk is 5x bigger in a world of agents because we're not just talking about moving content or moving data to the cloud. We're talking about giving autonomy to artificial intelligence machines, right? So the trust gap is something we have to solve. And the reason trust governance is important is A, if we guarantee guardrail, human in the loop, escalations, you get more experimentation. You get a little bit of leash. But the biggest issue is this. When it comes to trusting tech, understand that trust arrives by Mule, okay? It leaves on a Maserati. So you have to have governance because you can have 15 excellent outcomes and one security breach, one operational gaffe, and everybody will point to that and say, program canceled, we're going back to picks and shovels.
Yep.
So that I think is the bigger issue, is there's just not enough forgiveness for any breaches of trust in this world of agentic, because we're giving it autonomy to take actions, access our systems, and use our tools. So I think that's the key to it. That being said, I believe trust governance increasingly will have to be more automated itself in the future. As I work with companies thinking about human in the loop, I talk to them about you need to have a staffing dynamic around human in the loop so that the human approval requirements decrease 90% every year for the next 5 years. You're going to start out with it really not being much of a time saver. Think of it as a training year, right? Everything is escalating. But as the time goes by and the tech gets better, the data becomes more reliable, humans will be able to manage a much larger workforce of agents, and that's where scale is going to happen. But we're not there yet.
It's interesting. I would say that trust, first of all, I fully agree with everything you said, and I will add some. Because it's not only to the detail and to the technicality that you described, I also see that trust and governance within the actual organization. Like, who is leading those initiatives? Are we going to give away, or are we going to give it full autonomy to an agent to go do the more complicated aspects? And who are the right people to build those agents and then operate them? And
That's right.
Even human in the loop. When we say about human in the loop, who are the right humans? Are they the same people that they were before? Or
That's right.
do we see, because we are experiencing an evolution of the skill set required to even be the human in the loop.
That's right.
So I was saying earlier, and I think we've heard it a couple of times, that it's not about AI taking over people. Like, I don't think this is something that is going to happen. But the people who know how to use AI better, who know how to build trusted AI and who can govern all those agentic applications, they're the ones who are going to stand out in the new modern organization. What's your take on that?
Well, I want to really just press on one thing you said that I love, and that is the skill sets for managing people and people's actions are different than the skill sets for managing agents and their actions. But the reason is because we develop relationships with people. So when you see really good managers at a company, they've developed trust in their people through relationship building, right? Through mutual vulnerability. So they develop an instinct so they can have a pretty large group reporting up to them and give them a lot of autonomy because they have all these little shortcuts. We don't have that with agents, but what I'm seeing now is with governance systems combined with people that learn to kind of think of agents as an extension of their team, a team member, the trust will build back to where in just a few years, there's going to be a type of manager who will be able to scale to this opportunity, trust a lot of agents in the right sort of way, manage them like good managers manage people, and run actually a lower risk enterprise than they're running today. It's fascinating. It's a different skill set.
So it's interesting. You're describing a future of work that I absolutely see coming. I'm debating though. Is it going to be more fun, more exciting, or is it going to be boring and dull?
Depends.
I think it depends. The answer is depends. But it's definitely going to accelerate the way that we work.
Yeah.
It's going to give us a broader spectrum of possibility and what we can do with it.
Yeah.
But I'm curious. I'm curious what...
Well, let's go back to Henry Ford. So, he wanted the Model T to only cost $2,000. And he had a vision to get there. He had to do a lot of things. But one of the things he had to do is he had to use a whole lot of machine automation. So he had situations where you'd have people putting together brakes and transmissions, and he would use machines and do it like 5 times faster. And a lot of the people said, all I'm doing is managing a machine. Before we were craftsmen. And they said, are we going to enjoy our job or are we going to hate it? And Henry Ford said, well, if you think it's true, you're right. And if you don't think it's true, you're right. So I think our attitude about what AI liberates is going to determine whether or not work is still fun. One of the ways I think about it is when you kind of look at the work that we do, to use Covey's 4 quadrants, you could say there's tedious, important, tedious, not important, creative, not important. How much time are we spending in the tedious, not important quadrant in our life? What if I could take that off your plate? To answer your question bluntly, go talk to a teller today whose grandparents were a teller. I've actually done these interviews for my book, okay? Granddad counted money, okay? Granddaughter gives loan advice. So you tell me. So it's great talking to you, Yiannis. Where can we get more of your wisdom?
Tim, listen, I don't know where you can find me, but we all know where we can find you. It was such a pleasure to be with you, to talk with you, to have you among us today. Obviously, UiPath represents part of this agentic vision. Our agentic automation value proposition is all about agents, robots, and people working together. But I know that at G2, you're doing this phenomenal research as well. So thank you so much.
Thank you very much, man. Great talking to you, buddy.